I'm going to start you off basically with just the key hormones really that's going to affect your energy, your moods, your health, and your ability to lose weight and body fat. So, whoops, here we go. Let's go back. So the first one being insulin. Insulin is a fat storage hormone. You may have heard of it related to diabetics. Basically, the purpose of it is obviously when we eat any kind of when we eat anything, mainly sugar and carbs, we get a spike or a raise in blood sugar. The pancreas then secretes insulin to come and take this sugar out of the blood and transport it to the liver and the muscles, and any excess will be then spilled over into the fat cells. So, we're looking at basically it's a fat storage hormone. It's a transporter of nutrients, and it's basically to control the blood sugar levels and the amount of sugar that we have in the bloodstream at any one time, because too much sugar in the blood can be dangerous. And obviously this is a natural process that the body does itself. The body is a brilliant and wonderful, sugary drinks and stuff like that. Over time, our bodies will become insulin resistant, and that can lead to diabetes, which obviously isn't a good thing. That can cause a whole host of problems as well down the line for your health. So what can we do to kind of stop this, or to balance this out, or to change it? It's quite simple. We need to improve our diet and lifestyle. It's as simple as that. So we can actually reverse the process with proper diet, with proper nutrition, if we can kind of control the blood sugar. We're either sugar burning or fat burning. So obviously the more sugar and carbs and processed foods that we eat, the higher the blood sugar levels are going to be, but also the more insulin that is going to be secreted from the pancreas. And obviously the more insulin that our bodies are pumping out, the less body fat that we're going to be burning, because we'll be storing fat instead. So here's a blood sugar diagram. If you have a look at the red diagram, so we hear a lot, don't we, that we should start our day off right. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and that we should eat 60% of our diet should come from carbs, or from high energy foods and stuff like that, things that are going to fill us up for longer, and carbohydrates are the holy grail type thing, when realistically they're not. There are no there are no essential carbohydrates. There are only essential fatty acids. There are essential proteins from amino acids, but there are no essential carbohydrates. Your body can actually produce these itself through a process called gluconeogenesis. So what we need to do really is control the amount of the sugar and the carbs and the processed foods that we eat, by eating more proteins and fats, which are going to help us control our blood sugar levels. So the diagram on the left, the red one, if we were to eat a high energy breakfast, or a high energy food, or a quick snack type food, and we get a spike in blood sugar, so as that the red line goes up, it's going to come crashing down. It's going to come crashing down. Then we're going to get another spike in energy, because we're going to be craving, we're going to be hungry, so we eat something else, and we then go on a bit of a roller coaster. So it's just a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a non-stop process if we don't start our day off right, or if we eat the wrong type of foods and we don't keep our blood sugar levels under control by eating the lower glycemic carbs, or we eat more proteins and fats, which are going to help stabilize our blood sugar more. So the diagram on the right then, or the one in green, you can see there the red line is a more stable blood sugar. So you could do that by eating. It will help to keep your blood sugar levels under control, help you feel fuller for longer, and probably eat less as well, which is obviously going to speed up your weight loss results. It's going to give you more. A picture speaks 1,000 words. We can go on about how much we should be eating or what we should be eating, but really we need to take a look at what we're actually drinking as well. And that picture really speaks 1,000 words, and I don't think I need to say an awful lot else to go along with that. We really shouldn't be drinking our calories, and we certainly shouldn't be drinking sugary drinks, because it will wreak havoc on our hormone levels. It'll wreak havoc on your health and your diet, and your weight loss results as well. Moving on, again, taper off in the evening. But these days, we're a lot of people are, tired and wired. They struggle waking up in the morning because they're so tired, and they struggle going to sleep at night because they're so wired. And it's because they've basically got this hormone cortisol all out of sync, all out of balance. And the thing is with these hormones, guys, if one of them is out of sync, the rest of them will be out of sync, and it has a knock-on effect. So this slide could have been the first one, because it's really important on the grand scheme of things. We talk about diet and exercise, but stress and stress management is probably underrated and sort of undervalued in people's health and progress with diet and nutrition, and in health, I suppose. So cortisol, again, it's a stress hormone. It's the kind of thing that should get you up in the morning. It's also the kind of thing that will produce fight or flight. Obviously, think about it. 10,000 years ago, if a saber-tooth tiger was to jump out on you, you get this big boost of adrenaline, and you would do one of two things. You would either fight the thing, or you would leg it for safety. It would be the same if you were approached in the street. If someone was to come and pick on you or try and mug you or something like that, you would do one of two things: fight or flight. And it's the same, if we're sat in the car, we get this. If someone cuts you up in the car, or you've got massive levels of stress, you get this build up of adrenaline, but there's nothing. It's the same process. We should either fight or flight, but because we're just sat there in traffic, there's not really a lot we can do with it. So we get this built up adrenaline all of the time, and there's nowhere for it to burn. There's nothing to do. So what it ends up doing is increasing your blood sugar levels, releasing that insulin that we spoke about in the previous slide. And obviously, while we're producing insulin, we're not going to be burning body fat. And it's, again, we've got this stored up adrenaline that we're not burning off. So it can actually lead to belly fat storage. Cortisol can actually increase your cravings and appetite. It can also lower your levels of leptin, which is basically going to tell your body whether you're full or not. So obviously, if you're tired and run down and stressed, you might find that you're hungry, and you might have noticed this yourself. If you've been out on a weekend, the first couple of days afterwards, your cravings are sometimes ridiculous. You're craving more sugary and carb type foods because you need the energy, because you've got this uncontrollable appetite, and it's probably to do with stress and cortisol, and being tired and run down, and we deal with this all the time, and this is a major problem. Stress is really, really underrated, and people don't sort of pay enough attention to it, and this is why I'm shooting this little presentation, so hopefully that you can understand a little bit. Stress and cortisol actually interferes with the thyroid and insulin. Like I said before, obviously you get this build up of adrenaline, then your body's going to pump out blood sugar to help you kind of deal with this fight or flight response. But obviously if you're not burning it off, then it's going to cause problems, and you keep doing this over time and your body becomes stressed out. It can also have an effect on your thyroid. If cortisol levels are high, then it also means that your testosterone levels are going to be lower, which is really difficult when you're obviously trying to lose weight and you're trying to get lean, because you need to increase your levels of testosterone so that you can get lean muscle, build lean muscle, so that you actually look lean. If your testosterone levels are low, it means that your estrogen levels are going to be high, which is a burnout. So again, it just goes full circle. It's just adding more stress to the body. The next slide should be, here we go. How can we kind of control levels of cortisol? Well, this is to do with your sleep-wake cycle, or the circadian rhythm. So our bodies are programmed to wake up when the sun rises and sort of switch off and unwind and go to sleep as the sun goes down. But these days, we've got a lot of synthetic lighting. Obviously in the house, you've got your TV, you've got the computer, you've got your lights, you've got phones. All of these things are constantly stimulating the brain, and the brain doesn't actually register or understand or know when it's actually time to switch off. So this again just adds to the stress. It adds more, it puts the body under more stress, which again has a knock-on effect with other hormones, as we said before. So realistically, what we should be doing is waking up about 6 o'clock, and we should be going to bed about 10 o'clock. All right, so we should be getting one of the best ways to kind of deal with levels of cortisol and stress is relaxation and sleep. That's why meditation and yoga is supposed to be really good for you, because it actually helps you to unwind and switch off and de-stress. But sleep, again, is underrated. Something else that we should be looking to do and maximize is how much we can sleep, or our quality of sleep. So try and get to bed, and get to bed before midnight. Every hour that you go to bed before midnight is worth 2 after. So it's worthwhile, like I say, trying to get to bed around 10 o'clock if you can, and get a good 8 to 10 hours sleep. And that should help lower your levels of cortisol, which will then have a knock-on effect with obviously your health and your weight loss. Moving on, the next one. Estrogen is a female dominant hormone. As I said before, if your estrogen levels are high, then your testosterone levels are going to be low. If your estrogen levels are high, then it's going to put your thyroid under stress. Obviously, we know that the thyroid can affect weight gain, or even weight loss. So all of these things really do have a knock-on effect on our health. So we need to kind of understand and address them if we can. Too much estrogen in men will cause moobs and bingo wings. Too much in women will cause fat to store around the back of the arms and the hips and thighs. It's things that are very estrogenic are things like caffeine, alcohol, and dairy products. And not only that, we've got the skin products that you use, and products that you use sort of in the shower or the bath. All of these things can mimic estrogen, called xenoestrogens, because they're absorbed into the body, and they can be toxic to the liver. So what we need to do is like some kind of detox, or basically just to get the crap out of the system, really. And we can do this very simple for within 2 to 4 weeks. give the body a chance to detox and cut the crap out of the system, and allow the liver to do what it's supposed to do, which is to detox. And you can reset your hormones and improve your health and your weight loss results and stuff like that quite simply. Some more advanced strategies might be needed to do this, but we're just keeping it with the basics here. The more greens that you can get into your system, the better. Eat a lot of green leafy vegetables, because it contains something called indole-3-carbinol, which binds to fat, which binds to estrogen, and obviously it will flush it out of the body. Greens drinks are good for that. Green smoothies, you can make your own green smoothies, which obviously help with the detoxification. Moving on, we want to, everybody that wants to be lean or to lose body fat needs to actually increase their levels of growth hormone or testosterone so that we can get lean. Your body will actually burn more body fat at rest if you increase your lean muscle. So by increasing lean muscle, you will actually decrease your levels of we need to time our carbohydrates better. We need to decrease the amount of sugar that we have in our diet. We definitely need to cut down on the processed foods that we eat. So we need to be looking at eating organic. Free range is best. Obviously, if you're vegan or vegetarian, then obviously you should know, or you will have a better understanding than I will, of the kind of proteins that you can eat. But I would suggest things like organic dairy, beans, pulses, nuts, seeds, and tofu, things like that. And yeah, basically we're looking to increase the levels of testosterone by eating better and working out, lifting weights, body weight exercises, that kind of thing. Okay, so if we increase levels of testosterone, we lower our levels of estrogen, therefore we can burn more body fat around the stomach, hips and thighs. Simples. You're going to cut out some of the toxins, you're going to improve your energy levels, you're going to cut down on some of the kind of symptoms that we take for granted, I suppose, on a day-to-day basis, which I'll just touch on now, towards nutrition. But we don't stop to think about that. We tend to, if we have coughs and colds and headaches and stuff like that, we'll pop a pill or we'll go to the doctors, and we'll usually be prescribed more medications and more pills and things like that. But if we were to stop and think, can any of this be related to our nutrition, our diet and our lifestyle? Of course it could. So dairy products, passed on to us, it's not necessarily going to have a good effect on us while we're trying to digest that, especially if we're trying to lose weight, or we store body fat around certain areas and things like that. And gluten basically is a Latin word for glue. It's hidden in a lot of things, bread, pasta and cereals. It's also hidden in condiments such as ketchup, things like that. All of these things can have a negative effect on our health and our results. Depression. It can also strip your body of nutrients. A lot of people don't pay any attention to this type of stuff. So removing gluten and dairy side effects, I suppose. But I also used to drink a lot of milk as well. But when I cut back and eventually cut out the milk that I was having, my asthma went away. Just little things that you notice over time. General coughs and colds, obviously, we take all these things for granted, or we just think of them as being normal, when really they might not be. They could all be interrelated to your diet and lifestyle and your nutrition. So how do we put this right? What can we do to kind of help the process and improve our diet and lifestyle, and reset the hormones for better difference in your energy levels, your results for weight loss, improved kind of sleep, digestion, better performance in the gym? You would wake up better in the morning, probably sleep better at night, and so on and so forth. So if you remove starchy carbs such as bread, rice, pasta, potatoes and cereals, remove all sugars including fruit juices, alcohol, caffeine including tea, coffee and sports drinks, remove all processed foods, anything that comes in a bag, a packet, a box or a tin, remove all dairy products, and only eat one ingredient rich foods such as an apple. So obviously I said to remove things that are in a bag, a packet, a box or a tin, but obviously use your brain. If you're going to buy some fruit, for instance, that comes in a packet and you know it's only an apple, then use your brain, you can get away with that. Eat a large variety of fruits and vegetables, so you're getting plenty of vitamins and minerals. Now, we don't get enough vitamins and minerals as it is. Everybody is vitamin deficient, so it's worthwhile taking extra supplements to help with this. I personally take and recommend Juice Plus capsules. They are basically the essence of 26 fruits, veg and berries. They are bioavailable, meaning it gets straight into your bloodstream. It's not the same as it were if you were just to take synthetic vitamins. Lots of fresh water, green tea, fruit teas and tulsi teas. Eat protein with every meal, fresh meats such as chicken, fish, beef, lamb, pork and eggs. And that's it basically. We're just looking to improve energy levels. We're looking to improve our health for optimal health, and reset your hormones. Okay, this is all that needs to be done for 2 to 4 weeks, and you can massively improve all of the above: your digestion, energy levels, body composition, and so on. Okay, so simple as that, guys. Okay, there we go.